Hello, welcome to the Quad Pod. I'm your co-host Sam,
I am Carlo.
and today is the eighth episode.
Eighth episode of season 2 here in the
Yes,
spring
sir.
semester, and it's like summery outside, right?
Dude, it is nice. It's supposed to rain, but it was hot out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're
I'm
you
not
have
pre-
sweatpants on.
I'm not. I was not. I didn't look until after I went outside, and at that point, I was already out.
Yeah, you inspired me to start with the shorts though. When I saw
Really?
you, I think 2 weeks ago when I saw you with
Yeah,
the shorts on,
yeah.
I was like, that's the move I got to do.
I did it over the weekend as well. I wore shorts because I went to like the Gordon Nature. Is it? I forget.
I've heard of that. I haven't been there though.
Nor-
Yeah.
Gordon Nature area. It's called, and it was really nice. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
yeah.
no,
It's
that-
nice like hiking and stuff like that.
I mean, the nature around here is really nice.
really
It's
nice.
really, really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And with that, it's late March, but by the time this comes out, well, tomorrow's April 1st, which is April Fool's Day. And just a
Yes.
quick promo. I can't believe we haven't done this before, but today I do have, just to show off here, a physical copy of the Quad. We print physically bi-weekly.
Yes.
Of course, well, not of course if you don't know, but if you don't know, every April Fool's Day, we turn into the Quack instead of the Quad. And we publish satirical, funny, Onion-like articles, if you know what the Onion is. So, yeah, we do have some actual series coverage in here as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's a mix of
But
both.
if you want to go ahead and pick one of these up around campus, which we'd encourage you to do, the satirical stories, I mean, you should be able to tell from the headlines alone. But
Yeah.
but they're printed in Comic Sans, just to make it
Yeah, a
extra
bunch
clear.
of great,
But,
funny stuff in there. I
yeah,
agree with you.
and right here, it looks awesome. Our graphic design team is sick. They're super
Yes.
cool. They do a good job.
Yep.
Great, they do a great job.
Mhm.
But yeah, we have that right there. Now, just real quickly, I noticed here on the back of it, upon putting it down, there's some baseball games, and you've told me that you've enjoyed going to some of the Westchester baseball games.
Yeah,
as
I
of
went
late.
to a doubleheader, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was surprised that there was so many like East Stroudsburg. We were against East Stroudsburg. There's so many of them there. I guess we're pretty close, but it was definitely a lot of fun. And like it's nice because you can like there's the obviously like regular seating,
Yeah.
like bleachers kind of, but then there's also like a huge like lawn to sit on as well.
In the outfield.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, not even in the outfield. It's like
Oh, really?
right behind I don't know what they're called, the batter.
Like home plate.
Yeah, home plate. Behind
Yeah,
home
yeah,
plate.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
that's
bunch of
awesome.
seating right there. Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've told you before. I think there's nothing better than seeing a baseball game in
Oh, yeah.
person.
And there was like a Kona Ice truck not too far, so I went to that.
Nice. I bring that up because I know for me, I've been watching the Phillies,
Mhm.
and they've been off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, I watched a little bit actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, because I was with some friends and they've had it on, so I was like, I might as
Nice,
well watch.
nice. They're actually playing right now. I don't know what the score is. Like as we were recording, they're playing right now, which is stupid. That's another axe I have to grind because March Madness is happening right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think what they're doing is they're not scheduling baseball games during March Madness games because they don't want to lose viewers. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay, so they're doing it like weird.
Yeah, it pisses me off though because usually like a baseball game is like 6:40 p.m., 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And I can like watch it when I get home.
Mhm.
I haven't been able to watch I've been able to watch one. Stupid.
Gee.
Anyways, that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But yeah, the Phillies. I know I've come on here multiple times on record saying not the highest on their potential, but they had a decent start to the season. They did. They're 2-1.
No, yeah. It seemed like they're doing. Yeah, they beat the Nationals by how much that was second game? I know they were up at one point like 10-3. I remember. I don't know what it ended up being.
They won the first two pretty handily. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact scores.
Mhm.
The third one they lost pretty handily.
Mhm.
but yeah, no, that's been fun to see them get off to a good start there.
You gonna try to go to a game?
Yeah, hopefully sometime next week.
Oh, really?
Against
That'd be nice.
against maybe the Giants or something. Yeah, I
that'd
mean,
be cool.
like I said, I love doing that. But yeah, the Phillies are off to a decent start.
Yeah.
We'll update you accordingly as
Mhm.
time goes on.
Yeah, it might not say that way.
Yeah, I don't have too much analysis for right now on that. But yeah, getting into the news, which we usually like to promise you around here, we try to get to.
Yeah.
So we have a story from Elijah Fisher here. It's a bit of a brief one just because there's not a whole lot of information out about it.
But
Let me
still
get-
crazy.
Let me get to it here. Yeah. Do you want to give the lowdown on it while I find this?
Yeah, so basically, what is it? Yeah, okay. Here's the headline is WCU fraternity shut down due to hazing allegations.
Yeah.
I read this story in one of my classes, and I was actually kind of shocked because, like, you always hear, like, hazing stuff, and you're like, does it really happen? But they talk about, like, I think it's, like, just allegations at this point that there's, like, people getting walked on leashes and stuff like that. Like, it's
Yeah, which
insane.
is crazy to me because how are you ever gonna be in a situation where it's like, yeah, this is worth it?
No, that's what I was thinking. It's like I wonder how like threatening it is if they like just say they pulled out the leash and like, all right, put it on. It's like at what point you're just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's like that whole kind of culture of it is like
Like, I think the idea of a frat's really cool, like a whole like brotherhood and stuff like that.
Sure,
But it's
sure.
never that simple.
it's never that serious. I
Yeah,
think, right?
yeah.
Like because yeah. So the specific thing that's being cited here is there was a video posted to Yik Yak, and I'll just read this from the article.
Yeah.
It is alleged to be a group of Sig Ep. Is that Sigma Epsilon? Is
Sigma
that
Pi Epsilon.
Sigma
yeah.
Pi Epsilon. Okay. Oh, it says right there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, Sigma Pi Epsilon. And it says it's a video that alleges to be a group of them being blindfolded and marched down what appears to be South Walnut Street, Westchester's Fraternity Row. And it says it's captioned "blindfolds on!" exclamation point, echoing what we can faintly hear being barked at the pledges before they begin running down the street.
That's insane.
I think if I was trying to become like a member of like a fraternity, right?
Mhm.
And they were like, actually, if you want to join this group, you have to blindfold yourself and run down the street. I'd be like, yeah, I'll probably just join the other one.
Yeah, no,
Like-
there's gotta be. Yeah.
It's not that serious to me. Like, I'm not gonna kill myself over this. So like,
Yeah,
I'm
they're
good.
lucky someone didn't get hurt, bro.
Yeah, right. Like, what is going on there? And like you said, I think maybe to me the most kind of surprising part about all of this is
Mhm.
that Elijah says that somebody reached out that wanted to remain anonymous,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
but they couldn't like share. They said they couldn't share any further information because they said they would quote get their ass beat if they did.
So like that makes me even more scared. Like I don't even think we're even hearing the worst of it.
No way, no
Yeah.
way, no shot.
And it's like that the sad thing is too is like that like this is just one that got caught. Like, they're-
Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
I can imagine other
Yeah,
frats are doing way
yeah.
worse.
Like I don't want to like cast aspersions upon the other frats. or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
but like you probably are right.
Mhm.
It like if this is just the one that's being caught on video,
yeah.
and
Also, I also like just found out about Yik Yak.
You
Like, a
did.
few weeks ago. I had no idea what it was.
it's kind of you'll find a gem in there every once in a while, but a lot of it's just kind of like
Because it's like all anonymous, isn't it? Like,
it's
or
all
something?
that's all anonymous.
Okay,
Yeah. But yeah, this is like almost. So I remember this is related to this. In high school, so I was on my high school swim team,
Mhm.
and there was a big story about how one of the other schools, like in our like athletic division,
Mhm.
like this is like a serious thing, but it's,
Oh, wow.
it's fucking crazy. They like, dude, like they put like a broomstick up somebody's.
Oh my god. For what reason? Just because?
It's hazing. It's hazing.
Oh, just
yeah,
haze?
I don't.
Oh, God.
Like, how do people convince themselves to just like, yeah, this is
worth
this
it.
Is this is cool. This is
This
great.
is- this is
great.
cool.
It's awesome.
Like the peer pressure is insane at these things.
Oh my! Well, I guess it is. That's the aspect of it, right?
Yeah, like no, it'd be cool. Like I've heard other hazing stories. They're from like bigger, nothing from here. Like this is the only thing I've heard from here.
Yeah.
But from other schools I've heard like worse stuff that they do. And I'm like I watched Animal House and I didn't think any of this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I drove down like Frat Road the other day, and just like when I tell you they had these places packed to the gills because it was on Friday.
Oh, okay.
So when I tell you they had these places like packed to like their absolute limit, like my goodness,
sardines in there.
like sardines. And look, to each their own, right? Like if you like a good party like that,
Was this at night or day?
it was during the day.
Yeah.
It was like at 2:00 in the afternoon.
That's the thing too. Like I remember, it might have been Friday. It was either Friday or Saturday. Oh, Friday or Saturday. I was like in the quad, just like hanging out with friends, and it was like not a lot of people there. And then we just see like all these people going to the frats, and I'm like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is like 1:00 in the afternoon. Like it is such a nice day out. No,
I agree. Yeah.
it's like I mean, do what you want, but
just
it shocks me.
the idea that the culture at the heart of all of that is like, yeah, you're getting blindfolded and running down. the
Yeah,
street.
yeah. Just oh my god, I always know who they are too because you see them walk around in suits. Like you know the pledges.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The pledges.
The pledges, bro.
Oh man, but yeah, but yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot to this as of right now. Elijah did his best with the coverage, and he does a great job as always. But
Yeah, I was surprised how much he had actually. Because
yeah, given the fact that there really wasn't
and
too much to go off.
I don't
of.
even think the WCU even spoke about it or anything like that.
Yeah, no,
besides
I don't
Spectre.
think so. He said that he reached out to a member of the fraternity,
Mm-hmm.
and they essentially just said that there was a report. It's being investigated. They clarified that they're suspended and not like totally kind of disbanded.
Yeah.
I mean, typical kind of
Yeah.
PR. reaction,
yeah,
right?
he's gonna obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
I was surprised he didn't say more like we didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing. Cause
That's yeah,
Yeah.
because like
I think it's just like they're doing an investigation. I
they're
mean,
doing an investigation. Yeah.
we'll see what they find.
yeah, yeah, but with what little there is out there, in terms of like statements from actual people close to the situation, yeah, we got some good coverage on this thanks to Elijah. So.
If a frat actually got like, what is it called? Like get removed or.
I don't know. I mean, I would think there has to be a process for that. But,
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously, if it's egregious enough.
Oh yeah. I don't know much about like. I don't think there probably is. But
No, you know what?
You don't hear much about
Okay,
sorority.
I could be
hazing.
wrong, but I feel like this is what Olivia told me is that. So sororities exist on campus.
Yes.
But the thing, and it's so weird. So they're not allowed to have houses like the fraternities are. Like,
really?
I think like legally they're not allowed to have houses like the fraternities are. It's some old antiquated law. Where like
What?
sororities can't have houses like fraternities do.
Is that backed by is that backed by facts?
So we got clarification from Connor, and he basically reinforced what we were saying and it's actually crazier though.
Yeah.
As we were talking. So we're fairly certain that, well, we know for a fact that sororities can't have houses on campus. We covered that. We're fairly certain that the reason for that is that due to some sort of local or state law, a certain amount of women living together counts as a brothel, which is crazy. That is insane.
Like, I don't know. It just feels so. There's just no like facts about
Like,
that. It's just
it-
like,
that-
oh yeah, they're probably a brothel. Nope.
Like, I'm just saying, like, how is that something that hasn't been like changed?
Yeah.
Like,
that
how on
too.
earth? And like I said before, like, or like, yeah, like Connor kind of said, like a fraternity. I mean, that's like a male brothel then, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like what's going on there? Like, I guess like the guys need their houses so that they can play beer pong in the front
Oh,
yard
you know,
and
Yeah. And it's sometimes I'm like, oh, the cops are pretty good around here. They do their job. And then I go down like the 7-Eleven. I see just beer cans laying around. I'm like, they don't care. They don't.
No.
Then again, I don't know like how much they can really do because if they're so strict about it, then none of the frats will do anything, and then the party culture that people come here for will go away.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
it's tricky, I guess. But I like your point too. That you said. I don't know. I guess off camera you said
Yeah.
it, but like sororities like do most of the actual work
Yeah.
that like these kind of Greek life organizations are supposed to be doing.
Not that like all like fraternities don't do like charity work and stuff like that, but you never hear about it as much.
Yeah.
And also, I swear to God, if I have to see another pie a
Oh my-
guy thing,
I literally was about to say that
dude,
too.
because okay, like the first time I said, oh, funny, good idea. Every frat does it. You can't think of something else.
Exactly. You're telling me that you're in a fraternity. You have the combined brain power of like how many people are in a regular fraternity?
Upwards of 20, probably.
Yeah. Okay. So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
A significant amount of people that can come up with
a
with an
significant
idea.
amount of people, and you cannot come together and be like, what is a better idea than doing not only the same exact thing as everybody else, but like just something that has like no connection to like anything. Like, okay, I'll pay you $1 and you get pied, and what happens? I don't know.
Yeah. Like I no what's worse too is I'll be walking by and they'll be like, "Hey, want a pie?" Guys like, "Why me?" I don't. Like
no.
it's
No,
like,
I don't.
Yeah.
No, we need to be more firm with that, because I was walking around like it was like last week, and I'm gonna call these people out. I think they're from the water polo team, so I'm calling you out. I think they were from the water polo team, and I was walking with Olivia near the quad, and they were selling like, I don't know, cupcakes or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said to us like, oh hey, you want a cupcake or whatever, like support the water polo team. By the way, saying it supports the water polo team as if that's a noble cause is kind of funny to me. I don't care about you. I don't care that you get to play water polo. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah. I'm also a bake sale.
Exactly. Here's the thing too. I was just kind of politely like, oh, thank you. I just walked by because I was not in the mood for a cupcake or a donut or whatever they had.
Yeah, it's the middle of the day.
And as I'm walking past, I heard a guy have the nerve to say like, oh, he's got a Hawaiian shirt on. It's like, yeah, bro, yeah, I do. Because I know how to dress, and clearly you don't, because you're on the water polo team and you're sitting here selling cupcakes at 2 p.m. So if anybody in this situation is in the wrong, or maybe has to get their life together, or maybe, just maybe, has to find a deeper meaning to life, it's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
And like that's a crazy thing, like to like them saying no, be like, yeah, well, you're wearing a stupid Hawaiian shirt. Like, oh, that really got him. Like,
Oh, darn it, man, that got me.
all right,
That got me,
all right,
bro.
I'll pay you now.
That got me. And you know what I bet too. And like I said, I was on the swim team in high school.
Mhm.
I bet you. Let's hop in the pool, man. I'll smoke your ass.
Oh,
I'm serious. I'm serious.
you have to buy a cupcake though.
Let's
if
do
you
it.
lose.
If I lose, I'll buy a cupcake.
No, okay, yeah. Like, there has to just, like, I gotta think there's like, okay, bake sale guy, like pie guy. There's gotta be something else.
Got to be something else. And in the meantime, and this I'm saying this for us and for anybody watching,
Yeah.
if you were on campus and you're approached by something that is boring or that you don't want to
Unoriginal.
do, if they ask you about it, you just gotta be like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yep. That
Leave me
first-
alone.
Yeah. Just yell, get away!
Like, hey man, you want to pie me? No, I don't.
That's how you talk to people in public.
Be firm.
Yeah, be firm about
Lay
it.
down the law, and you will not get approached again.
And you know what? And for you frat guys watching, being like, oh yeah, what's the idea? It's not my job to come up with ideas for
That's
you.
true. That's true. Because
It
we're
is
not
your
in a
job.
frat. We're not in a frat.
I-
So it's your
think-
job.
I'd be willing to maybe give you $1 if you did something interesting.
Anything interesting.
Anything
interesting. Yeah.
I need
Like-
something more than a bake sale.
It's just something more inspired.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
something more inspired.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, going back to it, the article, I guess.
yeah. It's a great article written by Elijah.
Oh no, yeah, definitely read
On,
it too.
on our website WCUquad.
I hope he does more. Like, I hope he updates on it.
Yeah, I
If
hope
there's
so
more
too. And
information, or
yeah,
someone does know.
hopefully some more info comes out on that.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I guess moving on to maybe a more national story.
Yes.
But obviously something that influences impacts everybody, I
Mhm.
guess. Because you were talking about this earlier. So do you want to introduce this one?
Yeah, so I was looking. I was like, I sometimes just go on Google News just to see what's on there because it's kind of like a for you thing. And the first thing I saw, it was like the biggest one. I was like, Trump not joking about third term, and I was like, what are we doing? Like, this is still going. We're still
Yeah,
talking about Trump
it's-
possibly running a third term.
It's still going.
That's
and
against
like,
the law.
yeah, it's against the law. Like, and again, I know we were like kind of like laughing to ourselves about this last week with like a lot of this stuff. Like, there's not that much to say.
Mhm.
It's just like, oh, that's illegal.
It
It's like-
just is.
like,
It's one of the newest things that
like
newest
okay,
amendments.
it's like, oh, okay. Donald Trump says he's not joking about a third term. It's like, okay, well, you can't. Like, like what?
who cares if he's you just can't do that.
Like, it's like okay, like it's exactly the same. Like, I walk into the quad office. It's like, hey Sam, I think today I'm gonna jump into outer space.
And he's not joking, guys.
I'm not joking about it. I'm not, guys. I'm not joking. I'm gonna leave the podcast room today, and I'm gonna jump into outer space. I'm gonna do it. That's not a serious thing to say. It's not a serious thing to say.
Like who like I gotta imagine the interviews like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And the person was like, are you now? Good.
And I love the continuing motif of him just being just mentally just a child. Because again, like he comes to this interview, he's like, I'm not joking. I'm gonna do it. Like, it reminds me, and this is kind of unrelated, but
Yeah.
I laugh about this whenever I think about it. I had this kid I went to elementary school with. I forget his name. It might come to me, but he was one of those kids in elementary school. I feel like a lot of kids knew a kid like this, but he was
Yeah.
just a total compulsive liar
Oh yeah.
in elementary school, and he just had everybody not convinced. He didn't have anybody convinced. He was trying to convince everybody that his father was like a professional skateboarder, and he was like going all over the world like
Yeah.
to these like tournaments and everything, and. Yeah, he would come in and people would be like, nah, man, come on. And be like, I'm serious, man. I just got back from San Diego like yesterday. I'm serious, man. I'm serious.
Oh my god.
It's such like the same vibes as like Donald Trump going into this
Yeah.
interview. It's like I'm not joking about a third term. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
guys. Believe in me.
Yeah.
Elon said I could do it.
He had to get a mention, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He had to get a mention
He has to
somewhere.
get a mention
I don't
somewhere.
have him anywhere on this,
Oh, okay.
but he had to get a mention somehow. That's like
Be able to shoehorn them in somewhere.
it's an unholy streak we have going on.
Trump and one other person we keep mentioning.
One other person.
And I think we can segue into that because there's not much to say about the third term besides that it's illegal and you can't do it.
Well, it's one more thing I
Okay,
will
one more,
say,
okay.
because it just goes to show how ridiculous it is. It's like, oh, like people are saying that Vance could run, and then Trump would be his VP,
Oh my god.
and then Vance would resign, and Trump would become president. Like,
Wait, could they do that?
no, they couldn't.
Oh, okay.
I
So
am
can you be
okay.
the VP after?
Let me be clear. I am not a constitutional scholar.
Mhm.
but like, no way, right? Like, you just think about it just as like a human
Dude.
being and like an American, and like you kind of know these things. Like, no, just no way.
The script this year has been insane. I think they might do it.
No,
Eventually,
no,
they
no,
might do
no.
it. Bro.
The script doesn't need to be crazier. The script writers. Let me tell you. I think what the script writers need to do. I think they just need to take a break.
Dude,
I think they
please.
really like.
Have like a bottle episode, just like some.
Can we seriously? Actually, in a lot of ways, we are having a bottle episode. Nobody else likes us anymore. That might actually be the problem.
So the
They're
arc-
writing out all the other
Is that
characters.
the arc of this year is that we're gonna be hated and then eventually loved? Is that the arc of this
I don't-
for the next 4 years?
Is there a redemption arc? I don't know.
I think we're in the evil arc now.
We're in
We're
like,
deep within the evil arc.
and it's crazy because like, we were kind of like morally gray for a while. I don't know that we were ever like the best people ever.
Yeah, no.
But we were like, a little kind of like, we were intriguing.
Mhm.
We were
Yeah,
like, we could do a little bit of good, we could do a little
We're
bit
like
of
an
bad.
anti-hero,
Now
yeah.
we're just evil. Like without question, without any question at all.
Oh my god.
And oh my god. Is there redemption? I don't know. Let me ask you this question.
yeah,
Who do you think as president could lead that redemption arc?
like
Thinking about anybody that you know, even if it's like a celebrity or whatever that would run for president.
you know what? He was a governor, and he never ran. Arnold.
I knew you were gonna get Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnie.
You know what? Because I mean, how bad was his run as governor? I don't know.
It is crazy that he was the governor of California.
It-
That is nuts.
It isn't discussed enough.
I think Arnold is like, I don't think he's a fan of Trump.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't think he is
But
either.
I'm
so I
not
think,
certain about that, but I feel like if we hired Trump, famous TV star, we can hire another famous TV star.
and Arnold is better.
Arnold,
he's
yeah.
better. He's just better.
Arnold would be better.
Like Trump could never pull off the Terminator.
I would watch like anything, any presidential thing. I'd start watching.
And you
just
know
to
what's
hear him.
crazy too, and this is a high bar, but Arnold I think actually has a more iconic voice.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like for as funny as Trump
Wait,
is,
Arnold wasn't born in America, was he?
you're right. You're right.
That's tough.
I did not. I wasn't even thinking of that.
Because I was thinking,
That's a good catch.
All right, no Arnold.
Okay, so just in case you didn't hear that, because I don't know how I picked it up.
Yeah.
But Connor kind of stole my answer, but it's a great answer, and I was gonna say it
Yeah.
for a reason. Pete Buttigieg, who really is like a fucking rock star. Like Pete Buttigieg is awesome. If you're staying within the sphere of like politicians,
Yeah,
right?
I've only seen a few things about him, but I do like what I've seen.
Like I think the best thing about Pete is that he really is just so effective at speaking to people who are traditionally conservative, traditionally Republican, and just really like explaining to them in like plain language and like directly and convincingly, like why the policies that are like more left leaning are the ones that are actually going to help people.
Yeah.
I think well, I don't think Kamala did try and do that during the election, but I don't know. Like I think you have the aspect of like she's from California and people see like, oh, she's from California,
Yeah.
uppity, whatever. I don't know, like a coastal elite. I don't know.
No, yeah.
Whereas
just
Pete,
wasn't as effective. Yeah.
yeah, Pete is like from Indiana. Well, I don't know if he's from Indiana. I think he's from Indiana though.
I think so. I don't know.
I think, but yeah, but it's just kind of intangible. He really just like he's like a straight shooter
Yeah. Just
and
gives it to you straight.
so clear and convincing. Obviously, super intelligent.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't know a single Republican is. I'm sorry. I just like Republican politician, right? But yeah, Pete would be my answer.
No, yeah, for
if,
the redemption arc of America.
Yeah, I just the only thing is like is America ready for a gay president? I mean, I could give less of a shit.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
but you got to think about like.
Yeah, the whole.
I mean, Obama happened in 2008, and nobody thought that was going to happen. So
Yeah, it's possible.
know.
I mean, it
I
depends
don't
who he's
know.
running against, honestly.
that's another thing because who the hell knows
JD.
what the Republican is going to JD, man. I don't think JD would win a single state, bro. that guy sucks. That guy sucks.
I don't think he would. Yeah. I don't know if he would. I almost want to see him try though.
That would that would be so funny. And this is I just want to touch on this too, because I was telling you about this earlier. I just think this is so funny. In the text message leaks, which more have been released since we last recorded, there's the funniest thing to me out of all of that, right? So National Security Advisor Michael Waltz says just like this total like word salad, just incoherent, talking about like the bombing and like the mission and whatever.
Yeah.
And right after, JD Vance just responds, "What?" question mark. And then Michael Waltz is like, "Sorry, was typing too fast." And like he says it in a way that's actually like somewhat understandable.
Bruh.
And it just goes to show you the people that we have in charge right now really are not very intelligent. And there's nothing wrong with that, but don't pretend to be.
Yeah, I was expecting like wholeheartedly to see like emojis and like stickers used in that.
Well, they did use the emojis. Like, did you not see that?
No, I didn't see that
Oh my
one.
god, I'll have to show you after. But I don't know if we can get a picture. But like, I forget who it was, but somebody. So they said like, I think like Hegseth said like, "Oh, it's a success" or whatever.
Yeah.
And then somebody genuinely in that chat replied with like a fist bump emoji, a fire emoji, and an American flag emoji. Like that being your response to, by the way, they killed innocent people there, which is like,
Yeah.
that being your response to that is just
Ridiculous.
insane.
We elected you.
So again, yeah, I mean like we're in our villain arc,
yeah,
undoubtedly.
maybe the redemption arc will be on the horizon. You know,
Maybe
maybe this is all a big joke.
maybe Arnie.
Arnie can
Maybe we can bend the rules for him,
maybe Arnold,
or maybe Pete.
Pete. No, I'd be okay with Pete.
Somebody else.
He would be on,
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know. The real question though, like you said, is the Republican candidate.
Yeah.
But you know, speaking of JD Vance, actually, this is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
JD Vance went to Greenland.
That's right.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Why would he not?
And the picture here is just the funniest picture ever. I don't know what it is about that picture. That is hilarious.
It's just it looks so lost.
It's a picture of him in like the Arctic tundra wearing a coat that is 3 sizes too big, pointing at something. I don't even think he knows what he's pointing at.
He's alone in the photo.
And there's
too.
nobody else with
Yeah.
him. There's nobody else with him.
Like who's he point? Like
Okay. So Donald Trump said, well, his insistence to get Greenland, I'm looking at a New York Times article, by the way, has not wavered. He says we're going to get it one way or another.
what's that even mean?
Who knows
He's
what it
gonna
means?
go
It's
to war
crazy.
with Greenland.
Exactly, man. It's like, at what cost, you idiot?
That's another
Like-
thing. Is like, I'm gonna get Greenland.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, no, but it's like you said though, right? Like,
Just another.
he keeps saying that we're going to get Greenland, and it's like, okay, how? Because first of all, like, you want to get Greenland? That's awesome, dude. You can't have it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Dude, it's like a rich girl's sweet 16.
Seriously. And again, to use the analogy again, it's like if I walked into the quad office, it's like Sam. You know what, man? I'm gonna get a Lamborghini today. It's like it's great.
I'm gonna get a Lamborghini for $4. It's gonna happen.
So again with the childish insistence that like you're just going to do something that you just can't.
And I feel like that's not gonna have any like consequences. Yeah, I'm getting Greenland.
Well, exactly.
Greenland's gonna be like, maybe.
And
Like,
it,
no.
and it's to the point that Connor raised where Greenland is owned by Denmark. And Denmark, of course, is a member of the European Union, a member of NATO. So it's like, okay, Greenland has made it very clear that they are not going to like be sold to you. They're not going to be annexed to you.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
there's no peaceful situation where you are going to gain control of Greenland. So okay, so if you're truly insisting that you are going to get it one way or another, it's not going to happen like amicably.
No.
So then what? Are you going to invade a European ally, which you would be going to war with all of Europe?
Like,
And that is
next level. He's on a different level. He's on a different. We just don't understand
this
the thinking.
this is like anime villains. I'm not even like into anime, but like this is like
We're going against
so we can-
the world.
yeah. Like it's
Bro wants a challenge for World War III. Like
seriously, it's so crazy. Like I think we want World War III to be on like veteran difficulty because like think about it. Even though Donald Trump really wants to be friends with Putin and Xi Jinping, that's not going to happen. Like China and Russia will never be our friends in the current situation. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. you don't have to then turn around and be like, Ukraine, we're sending 0.5% of our federal budget. I don't know if the exact number.
Yeah.
It's
A number.
It's a number. And again, to reiterate, just to get the facts straight, 1.2% of the federal budget last fiscal year went to federal aid. Asterisk. But to then be like, Ukraine, you're freeloading, and Zelensky's a dictator, and we don't like you, and we like Russia. We want, and then to be like, we're gonna get Greenland, and we're gonna do anything to get it. You are literally. Okay, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Just to keep going with this, because I think this is a good point.
Yeah.
World War III happens.
Mm-hmm. We're at war.
Who the hell is on our side?
Dude, yeah.
Who? Because it's not Russia, it's not China, like I said.
I
Like,
don't even think America, well, the American people will be on us.
I mean, it would probably also turn into like a civil war too at that point.
Yeah, that.
Like, okay, so Europe is against us.
Yes.
Russia, China, that whole kind of,
Mm-hmm.
axis of countries is against us. I don't even think like strong Asian allies like Japan or South Korea would be with us. I mean, I feel like obviously
No.
they wouldn't.
Aren't they against us right now in the tariffs?
Yeah, they are.
So they already.
So
don't like us very much.
so let's see. So we're gonna take on the entirety of the developed world with the help of maybe Israel. Yeah, that's a
With
good
the help
fight.
of maybe Nebraska, like that's where we're at right now.
It's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep going down this path, we might actually achieve like world solidarity
Yeah.
in them all being against us. So like we might actually walk out of this with a more peaceful world at the expense of our like respect and
Yeah, we're gonna
And,
be
yeah.
looked down upon for the
yeah,
rest of it.
because everybody else is gonna be like, oh, those guys.
Yeah,
Like,
America.
I
Dude.
I mean, it really does beg the question. Like, I mean, who are our allies anymore? I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. So, are we gonna get Greenland?
According to Trump, yeah.
According to Trump, yes. If you ask me, like,
If you ask maybe anyone else ever,
no.
because it's illegal.
Unless you want to go to war with Europe, which is like, unless Donald Trump genuinely like has the last brain cell leak out of his ear tomorrow, which is a possibility.
yeah.
It's a possibility.
But
like-
think about it. Then Vance would be in control.
I don't even know what
He's gonna be
advanced.
like, I want Iceland too.
Greenland and Iceland. No. You know what it is? He realized that he was lied to. Oh wait, and another. This is just hilarious. I forgot to say this. So J.D. Vance was in
Oh
Greenland.
yeah, we were
And he didn't have a hat or gloves on despite the extreme cold, and he said, "quote Nobody told me." Like, brother, you were put on a plane and
Yeah.
you were being sent
Nobody told
to a
me.
country that, if I'm not mistaken, I think Greenland is entirely in the Arctic Circle. You didn't think to bring a hat and gloves with you.
It was -3 degrees outside.
-3.
Buddy, no, that's what he's pointing at. He's like, "There's ice here." It's like I thought this was the other place.
It's like I thought this place was green.
Can fall for the Viking trip.
Yeah, exactly. So
No.
what I think is gonna happen, like you said, I think he's gonna be like, he's gonna come back. He's like, Donald, like, they lie, bro. Like, it's ice everywhere. The one we really want is Iceland. It's like we were deceived.
Yep.
They lied to us.
We've been tricked by all of Europe. Now we must go to war. Do you think
Iceland has green, and we love green.
we're gonna change it on all globes?
Oh.
We were tricked by Vikings 600 years ago. They got us. They got us fair and square.
I don't know if you know about this,
They
but
only have their little tiny wooden boats. We're gonna bomb the shit out of them. Do you think? No, he
yeah,
definitely.
we're gonna hear about this in a Discord group chat. Like Donnie T, it's like was tricked by Vikings again.
No, it's gonna be another like random ass like shitty like group chat app. It's gonna be like Group Me. Like the Group Me chat about the Iceland invasion is gonna get leaked.
Bro.
No, he
God.
Donald he definitely still thinks like Trump still absolutely thinks that like Vikings are like he probably thinks that that's what like the Norwegian Navy looks like. Like, so they're very scary.
He thinks that Viking show's a documentary.
Wait, do you know those like batshit crazy like History Channel? I think it's called like oh my god, what's it called? It's called like Unknown Aliens or something like that.
Oh, dude, about
But the one where it's like the writers are on like LSD or something,
Yeah.
and it's like the aliens built the pyramids and shit.
Yeah.
Like I like if you put Donald Trump, that's Coco Melon for Donald Trump. If you put him in front of that,
dude, he thinks drunk history's real.
that's a great show. I love Drunk History.
I've only
Honestly,
seen like
that's
a few episodes, but I did like
It's a
it.
great show.
God.
Like horns on their helmets, very scary.
You're gonna attack us on a wooden boat? I dare you. I dare you. Swords.
Oh my god. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Got
Oh my
to love it. And speaking of the wonderful administration, Sam, did you know that? And I you know, this is great. This is great news for everybody. It really is. This is amazing news for everybody. Did you know that April 2nd is Liberation Day?
Liberation Day.
Did you know?
No.
Because I didn't know, but I know now, and now you know.
Now I know.
April 2nd.
Mark the calendar.
Guys, April 2nd. And by the time this video comes out, it probably will be April 2nd.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's Liberation Day. Like, we're free.
We're free.
We are free.
Free from what exactly?
We're free.
We're
We're free.
free.
It doesn't matter. We're free.
A free
We're free. It doesn't
country.
matter.
Yeah, Trump's like, holy guys, did you find just findings that we're a free country?
It's so upsetting because like the amount of things that like because Liberation Day is like that's like a cold like that's cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Liberation Day.
Like that should be for like not this, because essentially okay, and I haven't gotten to it yet.
Like when we win World War III.
Exactly. When we
wasting
against the entire rest of the world somehow
somehow.
yeah.
Scriptwriters are working on that right now.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm
Tesla powered tanks,
Tesla
like.
powered tanks. Oh my god.
But yeah.
But this is what Trump is calling April 2nd, because that's when he is going to be putting in place a bunch of the tariffs. I don't know if the specifics of the tariffs have been hammered down as
Yeah.
of yet, but
You'll hear about it.
it's
100%.
yeah, you will, and well, you'll feel it too with your wallet, because I know one of the major things is that foreign automobiles are going to be significantly more expensive.
Of course.
And I just we've talked about tariffs before, but I think just the general thing at the end and again, this I'm looking at New York Times here. The article says at the end that their rationale is that like don't worry, the companies are not going to pass these costs on to consumers, and it's like, really? Do we believe that?
How do you know
like
that?
how?
Trump said so, guys. So
Yeah, Trump said so. I just don't know how like you can be like a living person that lives in this world and genuinely believe that these corporations are just going to be so kind and understanding,
they're gonna love our tariffs. They're gonna love them.
and they're just gonna eat the cost and be fine because they just love us that much. They love America. They're so patriotic.
Yeah, they're so patriotic. Not even in America, they're still patriotic. This will be
Yeah.
devastating. April 2nd will
Yeah.
be known as one of the worst days
in
in 2025. Maybe this decade.
and this comes among indicators for recession, which hopefully doesn't happen.
Dude. Yeah, we're on the border.
On the border.
So many countries have just been like, yeah, I hate these tariffs. These tariffs are horrible.
Yeah.
We're not doing them.
And it's like we said before, like countries are like banding together against us
Yeah.
because of this.
Our own allies.
Our own allies. Yeah. So
If our own allies don't like these tariffs,
no,
and our border countries don't like these tariffs, who?
and the consumers here in America are not going to like these.
Yeah.
Like, it is just crazy to me that Donald Trump really essentially, and I think this is even maybe a positive way of looking at it, because
Hey.
not at this.
Oh.
I should have phrased that better. I think Donald Trump got elected. That's not my thinking.
Mhm.
I mean, if you look at the polls, exit polls, and data and whatever, Donald Trump got elected really because of the economy.
Yes.
And, for as awful as human being as he is, which he is, I think people were voting for their wallets, which is funny because if you actually did any research, you would know that it wasn't good for you. But it's been the thing with American politics for basically forever. If the economy is not good, the other party gets voted in.
Yep.
And it just so happens to be this incredibly corrosive, like, just person and movement. So if you want to have a positive outlook, maybe people didn't vote for him entirely for the hatefulness.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just didn't want to use Google, and they thought that he'd be better for the economy.
I was telling him earlier, it's gonna be like the beginning of The Hangover. All the Republicans are gonna look at their bank accounts and be like, "Guys, we fucked up."
Oh man, yeah, it's funny, and we've talked about it so often. I don't even know what there's left to say.
Yeah, it's so. Hopefully, next podcast episode will be a big celebration for Liberation Day, and
Yes.
we'll all be
Yes.
happy, and our wallets will
After
be filled
exactly
with money.
after Liberation Day, we will. So first of all, we'll be free.
It will be
We'll
free.
be free. It's Liberation Day, and also like as Trump is telling us, we will be so rich. Like these are going to be like golden microphones.
Oh yeah,
Like next episode,
the color's gonna be green because of the money.
because of the money. Yeah. And it's gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be great.
And
Just,
when he says we are gonna be rich, he's only talking about him and his friends. That does not include
Yes.
the American
As-
people.
yes, I mean to break the illusion. Yes, that is correct. Oh man. And again, I'm not an economist. Just
Nope, just
look it up yourself.
hey, who knows? Maybe we're wrong. Maybe it'll work perfectly, and every country's gonna be like, love it, love the tariffs, keep doing it, America.
Yeah. Maybe in like a fan fiction. Maybe
Trump
that would
fan
happen.
fiction. But yeah, not much more we can talk about that.
Another thing that Donnie did with this, if you want to introduce this. a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, so the TikTok ban, well, obviously the deadline got pushed from I think it was January.
It was
like,
January 21st or
January,
something.
yeah, it was something around. It
or
was sometime-
19th or whatever.
I think you're right. It was January like 21st, something like that. It got pushed to April. What was it?
I think you said April 5th.
I think it's April 5th.
Yeah.
Yes, April 5th. And so the big debate now is what's gonna happen because it hasn't been bought. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Trump is saying like, "Oh, we're getting close," but he also made it seem like that he's just gonna push it again if it doesn't. So
like the
I
the TikTok thing for me is so tricky because like I don't know, but it's not though because I'm stumbling over my own thoughts because okay,
it is kind of tricky because there is a lot of people who do get their source of
Mhm.
income, and a lot of people like their careers are on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like the devastating part of losing TikTok. The not devastating part is that people are gonna not have TikTok and won't. Like in my head, it's like, oh, they won't be on their screen as much. They won't be scrolling on TikTok as much. They'll do something, but they're just gonna either a new app's gonna come or people are just gonna move to Instagram Reels. Like it's
it's so tricky because well, first of all, Instagram Reels are terrible.
oh god, it's
They're
devastating.
terrible. They're so bad. And it's like, and it sucks because I know that, and I know that it's true, but still, every once in a while, I'll like just find myself in zombie mode on
I'm
it.
compelled. Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever.
Like for me, it's like it's not just become like if I did a bunch of work or I'm just so tired from classes,
Mm-hmm.
like 15 minutes. Like I'll just do 15.
Sure,
I'll
sure.
try to do just 15 minutes.
Sure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right. It's, I
Mhm.
mean,
I
but,
think that's yeah.
okay. Secondly, and I guess I'll try and talk through my thoughts here. So, not banning TikTok, I think, is the correct move, just because of the free speech implications.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like you said, many people make their careers on TikTok.
Mhm.
So if you're an administration in theory that is all about, and they claim to be about this, about making sure people have jobs, make sure
Mhm.
people have money. I mean, really, like I said, I think that's the central message of the administration is that, oh, America's back. We're rich again. We got money in our pockets.
Yeah, that's like
If that's what you're all about, I
Mhm.
think, yes, you should protect the app where people are making their livings.
Yeah.
Many, many people, by the way.
many. It's not even just like a few. It's a lot.
Yeah, many, many people. I don't have the figures here, but
Yeah.
many people. And yeah, the free speech aspect, the fact that many people share information, share opinions.
Mhm.
So in that way, it's like, okay, like, is Trump actually doing a good thing here? I think no. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Trump hater. I am a Trump hater. But I'm not just saying that because I want to have another reason.
Mhm.
I say it's not a good thing because the whole angle of this is like, oh, we're not banning it because we're going to find an American company to buy it.
Yeah.
And that way we can regulate it.
It's not about free speech. It's not about any of that. It's about money.
It's about money.
Mhm. And like
And it's
all about China, like getting our information and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And that's kind of like, that's such like a quagmire, I think. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But it really is in terms of like, and again, I will never claim to be an expert, especially on this. I'm not an
Mhm.
expert. here's the thing ultimately, though, and this is, I share this sentiment with a lot of other people.
Yeah.
I know for a fact Mark Zuckerberg knows, like, everything about me. It's like, what do I care if, like,
Yeah.
whoever else, man?
I don't know what they're really so. I mean, think they're gonna use it against us. Like, I don't know. Also, I feel like I should say this, or Lily is gonna get mad at us. That any political like belief we have and share does not fully represent what the Quad believes, but what we personally believe.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, and we're not speaking for the Quad. We're speaking for ourselves.
Yes. Yes. So it's just really tricky, and I think the other aspect is like I think they said like any company that buys it like is not going to get the code that makes the algorithm work the way
Yeah,
it
that's what he
does,
said.
which is I don't know. It's so
I'd almost like I remember like when it was banned
yeah. I remember
for
too.
those like few hours.
Yeah, for a few
and
hours.
people lost their minds. I almost
Yeah.
want to see what America does if it's banned. Like how bad are things gonna be?
So it would either have a really positive or really negative react. The positive one, which I think is less likely, is that TikTok gets banned and all of a sudden people are like, oh my god, like I need to fill my time with something, so they start reading books.
Like the
They
plankton,
start learning.
like the plankton chum bucket helmet gets removed from their
Yeah,
head, and
yeah.
they're
Seriously,
finally,
that's
like that's what I'm saying. It's like in the perfect world, that's what it'd be like, but it's just like I said, they're just gonna move to something
they're
else.
gonna go to Instagram Reels.
Like
That's what it is.
how like Vine was the big thing, then everything got moved to YouTube, and then everything got moved to TikTok. Like it's whatever's popular in the moment.
I just think when you look at the social media landscape, so much of it, I mean, really all of it, is in some ways like degrading in like the mind.
Yeah.
It's not good for your brain, like the chemicals or whatever.
Because even if it is informative, you're not retaining any of it. It's so quick. It's
Yeah, exactly.
the ability to actually retain it's just not gonna be like.
So I really think it's all pretty bad. So Donald Trump would not be trying to protect TikTok if he didn't believe it was directly in his interest.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of, is that what
'Cause-
you were getting at a little bit? Because yes, like Congress, and it was, I mean, crazy, right? That out of all things they could all agree on, they were like, yeah, man, we gotta ban TikTok. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
I mean, also it's like with Trump. I remember when Trump got TikTok. That was huge. Everyone was talking
Yeah,
about it. Like
yeah.
when he finally made an account, and he knows the power it has.
Mhm.
For I mean, not only like getting him elected, but also in future endeavors. If he wants to popularize them, he'll know
Yeah.
people who follow him on TikTok,
It's-
or even if they don't follow him, they'll see it.
It's tricky because you do have the whole idea of the algorithm in TikTok.
Yep.
Like when you open up TikTok, like you're only gonna see what you want to see.
Yeah, what they think you want to see.
And now, if you were talking about like, I really like cute puppy videos, or I like cooking videos, like that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But when you start getting to the political area, that's where it's dangerous. To where you open up an app and you're only seeing like, oh, like all immigrants are criminals, for example, like
Yeah.
the sort of stuff like that.
It just becomes completely biased. Everything
Completely
you're getting
biased,
is
and
so
you're
on
not-
that side. Yeah.
And like it even to an extent happened to me, because during election season, like September, October, November, I would open it up and I had people that I would kind of continuously like see when I open up the app, and like these were intelligent people, like they did their research, like they looked at the stats, they looked at the polls,
Yeah.
and in my algorithm, in the little kind of echo chamber, if that's what you want to call it, that's kind of the popular term,
Yeah.
all of these people that I'm confident are intelligent, they did their research, they were all like, oh yeah, like Kamala's gonna win, it's gonna be a blowout. Yeah.
Wow.
For me, that's what I was seeing, and
That's crazy.
and that's the trouble with algorithms. I mean, it didn't stop me from like still getting out and voting and making sure I was doing my part, but just in terms of like, and you look at the other side too,
Yeah, it's on both sides.
because I know Connor mentioned, like, if you look at the demographic of like men age 18 to 25, a lot of like guys our age,
Yeah.
guys who look like us, got sucked into that, like, oh, if you're a real man, you'll vote Republican, which is really the silliest reason to vote for
It really-
a particular
yeah.
for a particular candidate. I'm sorry. I mean, that's like, we can take a step back and just say like that's a silly reason to do that.
Yeah, to put no like actual like real research into it and just say,
Yeah.
I'm a man, makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a man. I guess I'll vote.
It's what we
I guess
do.
I'll vote for the pinnacle of manliness, Donald Trump. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with tech, you do have all that stuff with TikTok, and it's so like, and if you want to have the conversation about like regulating social media in some sort of way across the board,
Mhm.
I would absolutely engage in that conversation. But when you're talking about targeting a specific one for specific reasons
Mhm.
that are kind of like explained in a way that is not convincing,
Yeah.
in a landscape where nothing else can get through Congress except for this, seemingly,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, okay, like what are we doing?
It's dangerous. TikTok is dangerous for stuff like that, like for fake news and all that.
I think that's exactly it. It's a double-edged sword because, like you said, I think you're exactly right. It's no matter how you look at it, it is dangerous. If we keep it around, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
For the misinformation reasons. If we get rid of it, that is also dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you're banning an app where people are exercising their free speech.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really weird situation where I don't know if there's like a definitive win here.
Yeah, and it's. I guess the one plus side to it, I guess, is that he wouldn't be banning it because of free speech. If you know what I mean, like that's not the.
Yeah,
reason.
I see what you're saying.
It'd be different if he was like, yeah, because like people were talking too much on it, and then it's like, okay, well it is still like getting rid of this free speech option, but like that's not the reason for banning.
There is also the fact that they could say one thing and mean another.
You're right.
Do you know what I
too.
mean?
Yeah,
it,
you're right.
it could be, and I'm not saying this definitely is what it is, but I mean you gotta think realistically.
What?
They could definitely say like, oh, it's about China and it's about safety and whatever. But then it's like, oh yeah, but people say things like
Yeah,
that,
but they're
you know,
looking
like-
at the statistics and saying, well,
Yeah.
people are talking about this more than that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, because I don't know. I mean, it's
We'll see what happens. I
yeah.
mean, we're gonna have a stacked week with Liberation Day and then the possible banning of TikTok. That could.
Oh man, it is going to be a big week, a big week. And
Big week.
you said it before too, but I think Donald Trump did say like, oh, don't worry, if we don't have a deal done, I'll just extend it.
Yeah, he was like, I don't remember the exact quote, but he was like, he said it's not a big deal if they don't
Yeah.
get a deal
So
finalized.
so I guess either way, like TikTok isn't going anytime soon.
I'd be surprised.
So I guess the status quo will continue for at least a little bit longer, but
Because I think he knows if TikTok does get banned, the people's opinion of him will be so much lower. Because people just
It's-
so many hours are being
you
put
know,
into TikTok.
it is crazy. It's insane because he's done all these things. Like he's cut USAID and people have died as a result.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to disband the Department of Education and disabled students will no longer have protections because of that.
Mm-hmm.
He is just doing a total attack on anybody that essentially is not a straight white male
Mhm.
by saying DEI is like, you know, corrupt and evil or
Yeah.
whatever. He has done all these things and he is going to do many more. But the really crazy thing about it, because I think you're right,
Yep.
if he let TikTok get banned, that is the thing where people would get upset about
Yeah,
it.
people would be so upset about it. You hear it everywhere,
Yeah.
blaming Trump for this and that,
Uh-huh.
and it would completely like. I don't know if he did something that was like really really bad. I almost could see him doing it to shield it, to mask over like the
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Like if he does it now, no one's gonna talk about all the other stuff he did in the last few months.
Well, he's
They're
kind
only
of
gonna talk about
he's
TikTok.
kind of used that, and it's a good point
Mm-hmm.
that you raise. He's kind of done that already because in the midst of the group chat leaks,
Mm-hmm.
of the Department of Education stuff, in the middle of all that, oh guys, look, here are the JFK files.
Yeah, you're
Look
right.
at these. Look
Yeah.
at these. Like
Yeah, it's like
It's a distraction.
He
It's
does
a
something like
distraction.
you're like, what? Why would he do that? And then he does another thing that's even worse. And so like almost like you almost forget about the other thing because this
Mm-hmm.
one's so much worse. And it's like
no, and I genuinely think that's a part of the strategy.
it probably.
No,
is.
I think they've said as much. I think that really because it's like, oh, if you do so many things that nobody can keep track of it, what are they going to do about it?
Yeah. I know you guys have been waiting for this the whole time.
I have been.
Are you guys ready for Pope update?
Update.
All right.
Pope.
I know the cheers were
Pope
on.
date?
Pope date?
No, that's not good.
No, it sounds like the date for Pope. Okay.
I would like to do
I
that.
got two different sources here. One was from March 30th. March 30th, which was yesterday.
Mhm.
Here's the headline is headline from it says America. The source is America, the Jesuit Review. Headline is Pope Francis shares his own health update. I am experiencing healing in my soul and body.
Good for him.
Good for him.
So what's the second source though?
Other one came out March 28th, 2 days earlier. And it says, from the New York Times, the headline is Pope Francis came near death in hospital, his doctor says. So it feels like, I mean, it made it seem like it was a past thing,
Yeah.
but I don't know where we're at now. Last week we said he was alert. Good.
He's been alert.
He's been
I
alert
feel like
for a
we've
bit.
known that for a few weeks. We've covered.
But it sounds like it was
Specific
way.
vocabulary.
It sounds like he was not alert for a
No, I don't think he was.
worse period than we thought.
I think he was rather morose for a few for a bit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's experiencing
healing in his soul and body.
His soul and body. That's good for him.
That's what the headline says. You know what? If that's what I mean, who knows? I hope he is. I hope he's doing well. I see if he's alert and if he's continuing to be alert and experiencing healing.
Yeah.
However that may be.
It's good news for Catholics everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It is. But in the event, because at some point he is going to pass. I mean,
He is gonna pass.
he's a rather old man.
Yeah.
And again, kind of in a similar vein to like, who would you want to be the next president? Who do you want to be the next pope? Who would make a good pope in your eyes?
Who's a good devout Catholic?
Not even necessarily they have to be a Catholic. I'm just thinking about like, think of like a person, like they could advocate for peace throughout the world. You know,
Yeah.
like they could rally everybody together around a
'cause
common
the
cause.
devout Catholic I thought of immediately was Mark Wahlberg, and I don't think.
Mark
I don't think
Wahlberg
Mark
has
would be
done things
great.
in his life that would probably preclude him from being the Pope. And you can Google that if you wish.
Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg. That's
Arnold.
Praise be.
Praise be.
To the Father, the Son,
Amen.
and the Holy Spirit.
And that term. You know, yeah, that's my pick. If he could govern, he can lead. I don't know if he's Catholic.
You know,
but-
and Arnold is probably as ripped as Jesus was, because like you see the pictures of Jesus, like he was sculpted,
yeah,
like
on
he
the-
was up there,
on the cross,
and he had
with
the
an
he had the six pack, and he had the bis and the tries.
Mhm. I think he was flexing
Like-
actually.
I think he was a little bit, yeah, like
But you know what? Arnold's probably loved almost everywhere though. Everyone knows Arnold. Like
Yeah,
I gotta imagine
yeah.
these are in the Vatican and all that stuff. They're watching Terminator. They're watching.
oh my God, yeah, you're totally
Predator.
right. You're totally right. Like, because no matter where you are, you've seen those movies.
You've seen at least
Yeah.
at least Arnold.
Yeah.
Whether it was his weightlifting days.
Even if it's just like you've seen like Jingle All the Way. You know what I mean? Isn't that the one where it's like, put the cookie down
Yeah.
now?
Have you seen that or Kindergarten Cop? You know. I think if
So we basically just have the same answers for who would make a good pope, but I'm liking it because Arnold could be the pope.
Arnold-
There's not the restriction
yeah,
of
there's
he
not
has
the
to be born
restriction.
anywhere. Yeah.
And I think that's the next best thing for him. And is what he's probably 70.
So he is pretty old. So that would be an interesting choice because
Yeah.
he is also pretty old.
But you don't need to. I mean, you don't need to do it till you die. So
Yeah.
you can just retire.
That's a good point.
Maybe just a year or two,
Just a year or two.
just for the check. How much do you get paid for the Pope? Being the Pope.
It's a good question. I don't know if you get a salary so much as you just kind of have all your needs met.
It's like room and
You
board.
know what I mean? Yeah, it's like really. No, see, I think it might, because like think about it, right? Like the Pope, I don't think the Pope is like buying anything, right?
Yeah, but if a Pope retires, what do they?
They'll still be taken care of by the church. Maybe then they'll get like a pension or something.
Oh, okay, probably.
But yeah, I don't
Social
know.
Security
That's actually a
check.
good question. Like I wouldn't think that the Pope, when he's living in the Vatican, is like getting a salary, so to speak.
yeah,
It's like room and board.
if he
It's
wants
it's
anything, he could probably just get it. Like,
yeah, just like, oh yeah, you know.
God. But yeah, Pope update this week. He seems to be doing
Seems to
okay.
be fine. And maybe at a certain point, if he reaches stability, maybe we won't have to.
Yeah.
Well, we'll still do it anyways.
Yeah, we'll just tell you how
We'll-
he's doing.
we'll-
Maybe a sentence.
We'll just tell you what he's up to, even if briefly.
Pope went to the park today.
But yeah. Hopefully he does get to that point where he can, take nice walks.
Dude, if we have, if there's like a, what's it called, a conclave, when there's a
Yeah.
new Pope. If there's a Pope, like while we're still doing the podcast, if there's a conclave,
Oh,
that would be insane. The chimney was still.
that's gonna be like a half-hour segment on every show. And and again, I don't wish anything on Pope Francis.
No,
He's a good
of
guy,
course not,
but
yeah.
it's a possibility that
It is
would
a
happen while we're
possibility,
doing
yeah.
this. So for today, that will do it for us. We
Yes.
had a very news-heavy episode
Oh
again.
yeah.
But a lot of things going on in the world that are I mean, more than worth paying attention to. We really should be paying attention
You gotta
to them.
really stay updated. There's so much happening.
Yeah, and again, obviously, I mean, not that this needed to be stated again. Neither of us are experts.
No,
So hopefully
at
we
all.
informed you a little bit, or even if not, inspired you to become informed.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, our central message
Yeah,
here.
I think it is,
Yeah. But again, just to cap off here, we have. I'll do it for this camera. The physical edition of the quad, which is the Quack this semester, like we said, it has some
Yeah.
funny stories in it, but also some serious stories. So
Yeah.
a little bit of both. And the story we mentioned earlier is by Elijah Fisher, and you can find that on WCUquad.com. Also, of course, where you can find all of our other stories from this week, which you should absolutely read.
Yeah.
And yeah, so thank you so much for all of our writers, and again, thank you so much for our amazing graphic design team.
Oh, they did a great
They're
job.
kicking butt this semester.
they
They're
really
so
are.
good.
Yeah, a bunch of great stories. Go check them out. Website.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Pick up the physical edition if you can.
Yes. And you know, treat yourself by telling people that you're going to do something that you can't do.
Ooh, I like it.
Pull a Trump. Pull a Trump.
Yeah. Say you're gonna jump to the moon.
Yeah. You know what? Let's make it even more like
Yeah.
Donald Trump says he's going to run for a third term. Nobody believes in him. If you say something and nobody believes in you, use that as motivation.
Yeah.
Use that as motivation, man.
To do it.
Push through. Push through. This week,
Be yourself.
be like Trump this week. No, don't be like Trump.
Well, Carlos said to be like. No.
Regardless,
Yes.
the news is stupid.
It's
so-
crazy. It's like a sitcom. It's
so, yeah.
I come to this every week and I'm like hearing a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah,
every time
yeah,
now.
yeah. But just push through.
Yeah,
Push
be
through,
ready
push
for
through, push
Liberation
through.
Day.
Liberation
Right,
Day. That's something to be excited for.
Yeah, be
Liberation
excited.
Day.
Who knows
Yeah.
what the hell is going to happen on Liberation Day? World War III could start. Nothing could happen. Everything
Oh,
could happen.
Yeah,
Be
the
ready.
possibilities are truly endless.
Get the bomb shelters ready.
Maybe get the bomb shelters ready, but also it could be good. It won't be.
And also, you know what? Treat yourself to a little TikTok. It might be banned. Probably not. Just like
Yeah, Donald Trump tells us that he loves it. But yeah, treat yourself to TikTok. Why not? Why not? Why
do
not?
it. Go
Right?
ahead.
Why not? I mean, the world is burning anyways. Why not?
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. I had a
Yes.
great
Yeah.
time. Stay informed. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back with you next week. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for tuning in.
Thanks so
That's
much.
us for today. Thank you.